Hello, my name is George Psaras. I'm 16 and a high school student. With the recent developments of COVID-19, everyone has been urged to stay at home. This has taken a toll on many people. With the inability to see friends or even go to the movies, it has given some a case of cabin fever. This documentary will focus on how other teenagers are dealing with it. This is Quarantine, a Teenage Perspective.
It's odd seeing Houston like this. It's a very densely populated area, and it's interesting to see it so empty. Used to, I would drive every day, just kind of get out of the house, hang out with friends, go to the park, play video games with friends, have people over. Now I can't do that anymore. It's tough. I mean, just for an example, I haven't driven my car in a week. And it's interesting what people do to pass the time. And that's what one of my main things on the documentary is going to focus on. What have people been doing and why are they doing it? It's interesting to see different points of view, I guess, and different perspectives on it. It's interesting to see it this empty. I mean, I was on this street right here that I'm on Waugh right now. I was with one of my friends on New Year's, and it was completely empty whenever we were there. We were gonna go to that CVS, which is right there. Yeah, it was so weird because the streets were so empty, and I always thought this would be the perfect time to like shoot a movie, like an empty area that, like a zombie apocalypse, I don't know, just like kind of an apocalypse type of thing. But I never thought that it would be a kind of apocalypse type of thing. I don't know if this is considered an apocalypse, but it's interesting. It's, yeah, that's a word to describe it. It's interesting. Just giving like a different, I don't know, it's weird having all this time out here and not being able to do anything. It's kind of sad. This is it. This is Carnegie. Pretty empty. No cars in the teacher parking lot. I'll pull over there so you guys can see it. Yeah, I remember it being packed whenever I went to go see JD perform. Right now we're in downtown, just getting the feel of everything, near all the skyscrapers and everything going on. It's crazy. Being able to see a different view and a different way that everything's turning out right now just doesn't make much sense given how things in Houston have been for a very long time. So, there's no better way to get a teenage perspective than first-hand accounts and interviews. So I did some interviewing. Here they are.
What have you been doing?
I've pretty much done a lot of housework. I've cleaned my room twice. I've washed all the cars, um, and I've played a lot of video games. I get at least 12 hours of sleep every night too. That's a plus.
I've just been playing video games and watching movies, just trying to pass the time, I guess. I've watched Interstellar again, pretty much almost every Nolan movie
All right.
again. And I also watched the Tarantino movie with my parents. I think we watched. Oh yeah, The Hateful Eight.
I've been working out a lot because like my sport got canceled, so I've been trying to stay in shape. Hanging out with my family, watching TV, baking, art, like painting and stuff, and learning new stuff like cooking.
I have really just been playing video games, watching Netflix, and that's really it. Like, I mean, I've been trying to do some exercises. I've been walking my dog, but like because of all this quarantine stuff, I can't go out and like swim or go to the gym, so just stuck inside and just I don't know. I'm on a call with friends most of the time, just playing video games or watching Netflix.
Well, I've obviously just been here at home, so I've been working on homework. I've actually taken a little bit more fitting for cooking, so I've been trying to cook my own meals and trying to season them, trying to make new things, baking a bit. I've been exercising because I'm just that bored. I've decided, might as well time to get my health a bit more on track so that I can start working out a bit more. So I've been doing that too. And really just that and spending time with family. We've been watching a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows together. So that's about that.
I've been binge watching Criminal Minds, and I've started baking more. I'm usually like not really one to do anything in the kitchen, but I've started baking.
How has the quarantine affected you?
The quarantine has affected me greatly. I don't get to see any my friends anymore. I'm an extrovert, and being stuck in this house with little human interaction is not that fun. So there's that. Also, we're out of hand sanitizer. We're also running low on toilet paper.
Not too much directly. I've just like been sitting at home. We did go outside and we got McDonald's. That was fun.
All right.
Pretty much the one of the few times I've actually gone outside last week.
It's made me realize that I miss school. Like I used to have a really bad attitude about school, and I'd always wake up and be like, I really don't want to go to school, but I would rather be at school than like this right now. And it made me realize that like I took a lot of things for granted, just like the normal stuff in life.
It's affected me because I feel like I've gotten a lot like angrier and I have like much bad attitude. Like I've been talking back to my mom all the time because I'm just stuck inside and like I can't talk to any of my friends, so I'm just like stuck talking to her and it's starting to like annoy me. And so it's like made me really annoying.
The biggest way that I could think that it affected me was probably via school. Obviously, we have to do at-home school now, so it's not as engaging as regular school. So it's pretty hard whenever you get an assignment and you're not sure how to do it, but the teacher has already had their office hours or they've already had time to talk with students, so you can't contact them after it.
Um, it's been harder to like keep in touch with some of my friends that I would like only see at school. And like it's been harder to do my schoolwork because like I would never do it at home. I would always do it at school or somewhere else. So it's been like harder to keep up with that kind of stuff, but it's doable.
Are you bored yet?
There's nothing to do. We only have school once a day from 9 to 11.
No, I don't know if I will get to that point just because I got games to play, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do before it starts to get kind of repetitive, like in your house.
Certainly. I'm certainly bored. Because, well, I mean, playing video games is fun, but like it's the same thing every day, and it's going to be going on for like the next month or so. So I mean, it's already boring, and it's going to get even more boring as it goes.
Well, that's a thing that changes every single day because sometimes I'll have a lot of homework and I'll have a lot of things to do. Other times I'll just not have much. And I notice the days where I don't really have much are the days that I grow bored. Because then I just don't really know what to do. eventually you just kind of like, well, what do I do now? So I would say yes, I have been bored, but it's not like everyday boredom. It's just some days will be boring, some days won't, depending on how much I have to do that day.
I'm very bored. Part of it is my own fault because like I can still kind of go outside as long as I just stay like by myself, but I haven't really done that. Like I just stay in my house and there's not a lot to do. So,
Have you kept in contact with any of your friends?
Of course, I've kept in contact with my friends over FaceTime or Snapchat or whatever, but I haven't seen anybody face to face since spring break.
Well, yeah, I've been playing Xbox with my friends. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, for sure. FaceTime, Snapchat, texting.
Oh yeah, I definitely have.
I've actually been trying to keep in contact with some of my friends. I've kept in contact with a good friend of mine, JD. I've kept in contact with Wesley, Adam, all good friends of mine. Also friends at school. And of course, George, as you know, I reached out to you this morning as well.
yeah, I've kept in contact with like 5 or 6 of them. I made a new friend the other day. That was cool. But yeah, I've kept in contact.
How was online school?
Online school is kind of fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I just don't understand how, if we can get away with only having one class a week, why do we need school? Honestly, at this point, I think it's kind of just busy work, but I think within the next few weeks, teachers are going to get a hang of it, and it's just going to be like a normal class.
Well, right now, the way they have it structured, it really seems just like another. I don't know. It's just a lot of homework, and it's mostly busy work. I haven't learned anything from it personally. I've done a ton of work already, trying to get it out of the way. But yeah.
It's like different. I don't know. It was kind of hard to adjust to. Like it's really weird. I feel like for some classes it's kind of pointless, but for others it's helpful, I guess. It's nice to see teachers though. I feel like for some classes it's effective, like math and history, where your teachers actually have to like teach lessons, but then for classes like English or tech, it's busy work.
It's interesting. It's nothing like actual school. Like an hour of class per week at most. It's like it's the class time is super easy. It's really just teachers explaining the homework. A homework, I mean, you get 1 or 2 assignments a week, so it's not really stressful as long as you just get it done. But like also the incentive to do it's also not really there. Since you're at home, you really don't want to do anything, so it makes it feel like a lot more than it actually is. I feel like I haven't been in online school enough to figure that out, but starting off, it feels like it's just busy work. But like, I bet as we go on and we start to learn and get comfortable with it, they're going to start putting out more material and more things that we're going to be doing and like more content that we're supposed to be learning.
Online school is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it, just because I think almost of like my own discipline to do things. I'm not really somebody who could just sit down and crank out hours of work at a time. I think that's what I'm going to try to force myself to do today because I kind of want to break the cycle of, working until 6 or 8. But I'm the one who kind of takes breaks and who kind of meanders, and I could definitely use my time more effectively. But it's pretty much just, school at home. It's pretty much the same thing, just online school. I'd say that it's pretty effective, at least for some of the classes, because it's literally the same thing that we would be doing in school. The only thing where I could think of an exception is debate, because the season's kind of over for us, or at least for me. We don't really have a lot of things to do.
This is an example of online debate class.
Time, do one a week, and make sure you have enough time that week to work on it, because otherwise, it's not going to be very fun for you. You're going to feel like stressed out, and you're also probably not going to get as much from it as you would otherwise.
It's definitely harder to wake up in the morning, even though the classes start like half an hour later. Like, I still like it's harder to wake up at 9 than it is at 8 on a regular school day. I think it's mostly busy work, but I think a lot of my teachers that are like pre-IB, like the classes that I take that are pre-IB, because the IB tests are still effective, like they spend so much time on that like they can't really make a real lesson, so I cut them a little bit of slack there.
Would you rather be at school or continue online?
I would much rather be at school right now. This whole online school thing has made me lazy.
Well, that's tough because I have friends at school. Being at school, you actually learn something, in my opinion, rather than doing it online. But I love being at home. I know a lot of people don't, so they'll disagree with me.
At school for sure.
I'd rather be at school just because at home is so boring and I don't get to see any of my friends like face to face unless I'm doing like a FaceTime call or yeah.
I would definitely rather be at school. The main reason behind it is just because of the accessibility of knowledge, so you can access teachers easier. And also just the social aspect is a big one too. Like whenever you're just stuck here at home, it's just you and a screen.
I'd rather be at school.
Do you think this quarantine is necessary?
Yes, I definitely think this quarantine is necessary. I actually think we should go down to lockdown because even though we're in a quarantine, people are still leaving, people are still getting in groups. People think, oh, it's fine if I just, stay 6 feet away from this person. And then they end up getting closer than 6 feet and they become a carrier of the virus and they're not even going to know. And so that person that spreads it, they're just going to spread it more and more and more because they don't even know they have the symptoms.
Well, I mean, according to the CDC and Mr. Anthony Fauci, it is, and I think it is as well because from our perspective as teenagers, we're not high risk, or at least most of us aren't. But there are a lot of people in the U.S. that are, so it'd be selfish to say that it's not necessary.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, certain. I mean, just like last week it was at 100,000 cases and now it's already at 400,000 cases. And that's just while we're in quarantine. Like if we weren't in quarantine, I bet it's going to be a lot higher than that.
At first, I didn't really think it was that necessary. I just thought about, oh, it's just something that's gonna pass by. It's just a little flu, or it's just like a little thing, right? People will get over it. But then when we first got the week off from school during spring break, I kind of started to realize the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, I think so. I've just been reading a lot about the virus and like how it spreads and like there's so many different ways and now it's like I read that it's mutated like into like different strands. So I think right now, yeah, the quarantine is necessary.
When will this end?
I honestly think it could end anywhere between, well, no, June if we're lucky. It'll probably end in August or November. I couldn't say.
Well, as it stands right now, probably June or July, as long as it's before Tenet releases.
I have no idea. I mean, I know that they've been saying hopefully by June. So hopefully by then, if not earlier.
At first, I was looking like late May, early June, like hoping that we could have all the summer off. But at this point, I'm guessing September. Like, I'm guessing super late in this year.
That's a tricky question. Considering it's April right now, I'd say at the because this depends. So I think Trump will probably try to open it early May. At worst, if this thing gets worse, which I hope it won't, maybe early June. And now for how long I think it should last, I think it should last at least until summer. We don't really know, but it's gonna be a little while.
I hope that it will end soon. I give it at least another month though, because I think that everybody's on like different pages about like what's actually happening and like what we need to do in order to like take action. So I think until everybody's like on the same page or there's some sort of like executive order that's like do this, don't do this, then another month, 2 months, I don't know.
What do you miss most about normal life?
I miss being able to sit down in a restaurant.
Well, I guess I would miss all the releases that were gonna happen like in April, May, and June with Bond and F9, I think. Yeah, that was disappointing, and also eating at restaurants because restaurants have the best food, especially Taste of Texas, Saltgrass Steakhouse.
Seeing my friends and family and being able to swim and like go to swim practice and stuff and just everything being normal and like not standing 6 feet away from people every time you go out, that kind of stuff.
I miss just going out with friends. Like how we went to that park and went to go eat lunch. That was so much fun. And then quarantine happened. None of that's happening. I don't get to see any friends at school. I'm missing a bunch of them right now because I don't get to talk to them like at all. So that's what I miss, hanging out with friends.
I'd say the thing that I probably miss most is going out with friends, and seeing family. I want to see my grandparents as I haven't seen them in a long time, and I want to see my friends. I want to go out. Uh, as you know, George, we tend to bike, so I like biking with friends. I like watching movies with friends. I just want to have the ability to be social in person again because it's really something that I miss.
I would hang out with my friends all the time. That's a cliche answer, but yeah. And even when I didn't, I still had the opportunity to. So, like, even if I wanted to sleep the day away, like, I could have waken up earlier and, like, gone out and did whatever I wanted to. But now it's like I don't even have that option. So, I guess just the option to do whatever.